There's a new strongest person in the history of mankind, and his name is Colton Engelbrecht. I made a video about 6 months ago saying I found the real world's strongest man, and boy, has that come to be true. Let's first talk about and orient what strongest person in the world actually means. It is not the world's strongest man. The world's strongest man is a strongman competition trying to find the best strongman in the world. And that is what I tout myself as, the best strongman in the world. Powerlifting is very different. Powerlifting is 3 movements, straight and simple. Are you strong enough to do these movements with these parameters? Strongman can be more technical, has aerobic fitness in there, has muscular endurance components. It is not just about being strong. But let's break down this incredible feat that made Colton the strongest human being of all time, not just in absolute sense, but in pound for pound sense as well. Now, Colton is from South Africa. He seemed to have burst onto the scene last year or so. He has yet to do major big international shows against top level guys until a upcoming meet where he's going to go against John Hack, who he has just overtaken as the pound for pound best lifter of all time. Now, Colton in a meet this past weekend, the story goes that he actually wasn't supposed to compete in this, but he was having a hard time getting a visa for an upcoming show, so he just jumped into it last minute. It was a meet at his gym. Now, this is all alleged. I don't know him personally, but I don't believe that he had a full proper prep into this. I don't think he was planning for it. And this tells you two things. One, he is an absolute freak of nature. And two, maybe peaking for a show isn't as important as people might believe. That might be a controversial opinion that I hold, but the best strength athletes that I know are damn strong for the majority of the year. And yes, you might add a little bit, but I think more people lose than gain when they peak improperly and assume that it's going to do something magical for them. It's just giving that little extra edge. So if he had that extra edge, what more could he do? This is insane. So he squatted 470 kilos, well over 1,000 pounds, benched 260, which is just shy of 600, and deadlifted 470 kilos, which again is well over 1,000 pounds, nearing 1,050. This gives him a total of 1,200 kilos, and he's the first person ever to total 1,200 kilos. The one point to note here, 2 of these lifts were submaximal. His bench press, he definitely had more. His deadlift, he definitely had more. In fact, that 470 deadlift, he tried to deadlift 500 kilos straight afterwards, and he nearly had it. It got all the way to lockout, and then he dropped it from there. But it's probably something that you can expect him to have. And on the day, he probably could have pulled 490. So that 1,200, it seems like the sky is the limit. It seems like the bench might have been 270, the deadlift maybe gets it to 500. Maybe there's another 40 kilos on this already untouchable total. To give context, he took Dan Bell's record, and Dan Bell previously did 1,182 kilos, and this record stood since 2021. This is a 4-year-old record that was just beat. So it's not like this is a rapidly evolving thing. We have 5th place of all time, Andrei Milanichev, all the way back in 2016, nearly a decade old, still in the top 10. So these are well-established records that he is blowing out of the water. Now let's give context on what I might be able to hit. I think if I properly trained and prepped and everything went well on the day, I think I could squat 455, which is 1,000 pounds. I think I could bench 250 kilos, which is about 550 pounds. I think I could deadlift about 440 kilos without straps and without a suit. That would mean deadlift would be about 970, giving me an 1145 total. Now, if you watch this channel, you know my confidence in myself when it comes to lifting is not lacking in any way. And even when I come up with a fantasy scenario of what I might be as a powerlifter if everything went well, I am still 55 kilos off of the total of Colton. Now let's go to this pound for pound thing. Naturally, weight moves weight. The larger you are, the more muscle mass you have, the more weight you can move. But also, the fatter you are, the more weight you can squat. Your gut hits your thighs, and that acts as a spring. Same thing with your hamstrings and your calves. That's why you see open weight squatters, open weight powerlifters. It's almost like the bottom 3/4 of the lift is not hard at all, and it's just that little lockout that's a challenge. When it comes to bench press, the more barrel chested you are, the less range of motion. When it comes to deadlift, this is generally where larger people fall apart. And this is where Colton has a massive advantage. He is joining me on the mission to show people that you don't have to be the biggest person on the planet to be the strongest or one of the strongest people on the planet. He did this at 120 kilos body weight. For reference, that is 250-ish pounds. Dan Bell, when he set his record, he weighed 180 kilos or 400 pounds. Peter Petras, who is second highest total of all time, he weighed 170 kilos or 380 pounds. Fourth best all time is Jesus Oliveira at 178 kilos or about 395 pounds. To contrast that to 120 kilos or 255-ish pounds, he is not only beating these guys, he's beating these guys while giving them 100 to 130 pounds of body weight. Now, this means that the most impressive lift that he's doing by far is his squat. At his body weight, this is an unfathomable number. And when you watch him squat, you see his body underneath the bar, all of the plates, his relative effort, how he squats, the fact that he doesn't really have a spring off of his gut. And it just fails to reason how a guy can be so strong when he's not that big. Now, let's talk about some of the intangibles that can make you really strong that don't have to do with size. Other than cross-section, we have a natural neuromuscular component to this, and we train our nervous system when we get strong. Obviously, Colton has a very special nervous system. Then we have things like tendon insertions and kneecap size, all things that all you can do is thank your mom and your dad or curse your mom and your dad for giving you whatever you have. The function of the kneecap is to increase the momentum of the quadricep. The larger the kneecap, the more power your quadricep is going to exert about the knee joint. When it comes to muscle insertions, the further, say, the pec attaches on the humerus away from the joint, the more strength that that pec is going to have to be able to move that joint. So maybe he's got freaky insertions of muscles and tendons in places further away from the joint. Maybe he has very large kneecaps. Maybe his short femurs are particularly advantageous. And I don't know if he has short femurs, but I don't know how you could do these lifts with long femurs. It would be near impossible. If you want to power lift, your ceiling is almost going to be determined by the length of your femurs. The shorter, the better. Now, Colton is an absolute phenom. In my opinion, and objectively, he is the strongest person to ever exist. I don't see an argument otherwise, but I am open to your arguments, your complaints, your criticisms, or your compliments of that assessment, and go ahead and pop those down in the description. If you want to powerlift yourself, I've released a powerlifting program that gives you not only the program, but the education as well. So we're going to link that down in the description and go ahead and check that out. I've got 6 years of post-secondary education in health, performance, injuries, and injury management. I want to pass some of that information across to you. So go ahead, check that out, and would love to have you on Team Moose. But Colton, not on Team Moose, making it happen. 1,200 kilos. If you're watching this, massive congratulations to you. Please go ahead, follow his social media. Powerlifting is not a big sport. It is smaller than strongman, but someone doing something this special, obviously dedicating huge amounts of time to it, please go give him a follow. Check out his profile, give him some support. And we look forward to his future contests and head-to-head with some of the other best of all-time lifters. Until tomorrow, lift heavy, be kind, and keep training hard. Congrats, Colton.